Welcome to session 5 on windows. Windows are a really critical part of the design and livability of a home. They have more functions than you would think. It's not just about a view, it's also about letting in light and controlling the amount of heat and air, breezeways moving in and out of your home. Tremendous amount of thought should be put into the windows that you have, and they should be right for the particular environment that your home is in. So accepting that all of that is actually done in the design phase and with a client, we've worked out that we want this sorts of window in this kind of location for all these reasons. Then we come down to the actual window itself. And it's important to understand a few things. Double glazing is always better than single glazing, even though e-glazing and smart glass is actually very good. Now, I'm not saying there that you have to always use double glazing, but it will always perform better in terms of its ability to stop the flow of heat or cool in and out of a building. So what sort of windows are there and what kind of difference do they make? Well, we need to do some maths here. Bear with me. We need to do some maths to show you the difference between windows. Okay, I mentioned there was going to be a bit of maths, but it's not really complicated. We talked about the R value when it relates to insulation in walls. For some reason, when it comes to glazing, we talk about a U value. And that U value, a bit like the R value, the U value is a measure of how hard it is for heat to travel through that particular window. The equation we're looking at is this. So the amount of energy, or watts, that goes through a glazing system is a function of the area of the glass. That makes sense. Big windows would lose more energy. Times the temperature difference. So that makes sense too. If you think about it, what's the temperature inside versus outside? So if it's 20 degrees inside and 15 degrees outside, the flow of energy would be less than if it's 20 degrees inside and 0 outside on a frosty morning. And then the final thing is this U value. Now that U value is something that you'll get from the manufacturer of the glass, or you can look that up. There's tables around. You can ask the supplier of the glazing what that U value is. There's a U value for the glass and then for the frame and the glass together, and that's really what you're looking at. So, but as an indicator, let's look at some specific numbers. Let's say that the area of the glass in your home was 70 square meters and that it was a 15-degree difference outside. So, you're at home at night, 20 degrees in the kitchen and 5 degrees outside, so it's 15-degree difference. And let's say that the glazing unit you had has a U value of 6.2, which is pretty much standard glazing. Well, what that amounts to is 6,510 watts. Now that is, if you think about you're buying a heating unit, that's a big heater. That's 6.5 kilowatts. That's a big kind of air conditioner. So now let's look at what happens if we use better glass. So let's wipe that out and say, oh, let's put double glazing in instead of single glazing. Okay, so if you got a much better glazing suite, double glazing of a U value of 3, 70 by 15 by 3 equals 3,150, or just over a 3 kilowatt heater. So you can imagine that's half the cost really of running a 6 kilowatt heater for the same glass in the same home. So that's a big energy saving. This is an example of a double glazing suite. It's thermally broken, which means that even though it's aluminium inside and out, there's rubber between the inside and outside surfaces so that the heat doesn't transfer directly through the aluminium. So you can see, it's a perfectly good looking functional window. It just has 2 layers of glass, and the inside layer has a plastic film on it to help stop heat loss through that glass. This is one of the, this is a nice quality system, but it certainly makes a huge difference to the impact on this space because it's still allowing that lovely warm sun to come in, but it's stopping the heat from leaving the space as quickly as it would if this was just a single piece of glass.